I want to give all honors, praises, and glory belongs to my Lord and Savior. His name is Yahweh by Sham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wahava Kodash. Honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit and to the hopeful elects across the globe and to the few, the very few brothers and sisters that are listening and also learning in the hopes of being saved within these last days, because we're living in the last days of the last days. So I hope this is edifying. We're going to flow with the Spirit. It's another cold day, but it's about the effort, because the Lord knows our hearts, He knows our minds, He knows our intent, which is the most important thing, our intent. So we're going to see how long we can go. Might be 30, might be 20 minutes. Just see how this turns out. I would like to start off on Ecclesiasticus 19, and we're going to jump straight to verse. Hey, there's so much good stuff right here, right? Check this out, Baba Kishar. It says, the lips of talkers will be telling such things as pertaineth not unto them, but the words of such as have understanding are weighed in the balance. So, the lips of talkers is gossiping, false talk, false speech. The Lord doesn't delight in that. He doesn't delight in backbiting. He doesn't delight in gossip. He doesn't delight in those things. He doesn't delight in smear campaigns. He doesn't delight in deceit. And it says, Baba Kishar, check this out. We're bringing it out. But the words of such as have understanding are weighed in the balance. The heart of fools is in their mouth, but the mouth of the wise is in their hearts. So listen when people are talking. Listen carefully. Because if you listen carefully enough, they'll tell you, and a lot of this is done out of impulse, because they don't know what's on your mind until you speak it. They don't know how you're feeling unless they see you. So therefore, you gotta keep your mouth closed. That's why the scripture says, be more ready to give what? Hair than to give the sacrifice of fools. Then that way, you be more what? Discerning. Okay? You be more discerning of a kasha, of what to do. Of a kasha. So we want to be more discerning. We want to be more wise. Okay? And it says, Baba Kasha, remember, not everything you see. Not everything you see, you need to mention it. Now you've just opened up a whole can of whoop ass, because your mouth. Is there people that have secrets? Oh, yes, yes, there is. Don't we all? But the Lord wants you to do things in a certain way. If you have discernment, if you have a level of awareness, sometimes He might want you. Now, you say, speak my words and so forth, the abomination. But sometimes, learn when to close your mouth. Learn when to open it. Make a bar for thy lips. That is skill. That's going to keep you out of harm's way. Sometimes, people want to know what you know. They want you to speak to see, what does he know? Does he know? What does he know? That's why you got to be wise, bro. You use wisdom, man, to get yourself out of unnecessary situations. When the ungodly, check this out, when the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth his own soul. So heaven is you're an ungodly man and you're cursing Satan. You are of Satan, you're cursing your own soul. A whisperer defileth his own soul, and he that hateth wheresoever he dwelleth. Why? Because eventually, if you're a whisperer, if you're always gossiping, nobody's going to want to be around you. Because you're going to be known as the gossiper. Nobody's going to tell you anything. Because now you're this person, you're known for, well, this person does this. Nobody's going to want to tell you anything. That's why you want to keep your hands clean. Clean hands. And he that telleth a tale to a fool speaketh in one in slumber. When he hath told his tale, he will say, what is the matter? Okay. Yeah, bro, just be wise when you're doing it, just be wise. Don't bring unnecessary attention to yourself. Right? And check this out. This is Proverbs 20 and 3. It is honorable for a man to stop striving. In other words, going back and forth. You're all over the place. That's an honorable thing. Yeah, did you hear about this person? You hear about that? You hear about this? Stay out the way. Oh, was it? Stay out the way. These people, bro, they got all types of demonic spirits upon them. They've got all types of demonic spirits upon them. Right? Since a fool can start a quarrel, a fool, and there's pure fools out here, man. There's pure fools. How are you gonna find out? But you could be a fool, but you could become wise through this truth. Pure fools out here. We want to be wise. We don't want to be fools. But in order to become wise, you have to be a fool. But nobody wants to be a fool. Some real stuff is going on, brothers. Some real stuff. I'm not going into detail. All I'm gonna say is this. You watch my videos, right? And so forth. And I'm gonna say this is there's certain groups of individuals. I don't know if they believe in the Bible. By the looks of things, they obviously don't. Because if they did, there's a certain way they're going to be conducting themselves. So you may come out here, you may teach the word, and there's a certain group of individuals. It's about narrative and it's about stop teaching, which nobody can stop you from teaching. That's the mentality they have. So if that's the mentality, then who are they serving? Give up. If anyone tells you, if you got a group of people telling you to give up, who's that speaking? You know that's the devil, right? So what are they? Devil worshippers. Who are they of? Their father, the devil. Because that's not of God. So you got to be able to see how the enemy uses people. Yeah, he uses people to try to demonize the brothers that have this truth. You have to be able to see that. The Messiah. What made the Pharisees come up against him? What was it? That was a spirit, right? It was a demonic spirit. Why are you making this so difficult for? Why are you making it? Don't make it more difficult than it is. Alright? Oh, we don't think you should be doing this. And be careful of some of these people because they will also try to infiltrate your family as well. Run to your family and tell lies. Gang stalking, forget that. It's run by groups of psychopaths and predators. That's who it's run by. Who like to lie. And they have power. Why do they have power? Because predators run the world, aka narcissists. And when you're not following the script, guess what happens with the narcissist? They lose their mind because they try to get you to play a script of false reality. Thessalonians, they should believe a lie. All that are damned who don't believe in the truth. So it's some functional. Can narcissists function? Oh, they can function, but it's through deceit. This is what you don't understand. You keep on thinking about who are these people? They're narcissists. They're Decepticons. They're deceitful. They're the ones that make up the matrix. They're the ones that form it. Why? Because they're not people of truth. They're the people of the lie. This is why you have law enforcement, because narcissists know how to use the law. They're naturally criminals. Naturally, they're criminals. Naturally. Naturally, they're liars. Naturally. Naturally, they're con men. So ain't no surprise when you hear about whether it's law enforcement, police, well, narcissists, they have a way with the law. They have a way with the law. of doing things. Baba Kasha. So that's why they're able to get away with a lot of things the way they do. Baba Kasha. What do you want? You want stick? Baby? That's why they're able to get away with a lot of things they do. Because they're narcissists. They know the law and they know how to manipulate it to fit them. It's all right. The truth will come out. The truth is coming out. That's why I've always said this, brothers. You just what? Just be patient. Don't be reactionary when you see certain things going on around you, because that's the whole goal. That's the whole goal. So what is it they know that you know, or what is it they know that you know, or you don't know, or they don't want you to know? That's the question that has to be asked. There has to be a reason, right? There has to be a reason. See? So what happens when the people ask? This is interesting. All right, let me just throw this out there. We're gonna go to it. We're gonna go to it. We're gonna go to it. This is interesting. Proverbs. Check this out. The righteous man walks in his integrity, and his children are blessed after him. So that's what I walk by. I don't know about you, but these people they love lies. So, example. Now, say no paranoia, nothing. Say if you had a group of individuals, right, watching you, following you. Say that's the case. That's the case, right? And that's wrong. Now, not everybody's supposed to know that. Not everybody. So, do you gotta understand how this thing? Not everybody's supposed to know. Only the person that's being watched. So, what happens when other people find out? What when they're saying when they see this and they're like, hold on, why are they a group of people watching this one individual? Why are they watching him? So when they ask that, what do you think they're gonna say? What are the people gonna say? They would have to come up with an excuse. Oh, we're watching him because we believe this or we believe that. All right? That's what it was. You got to see. You have to use wisdom. Now, say if people start clocking on them like, hold on a minute, hold on a minute. Why have you got all these people watching him? What are those same people that are watching that person? What are they gonna say? They're gonna come up with something. Well, we believe he's done this, or we believe he's doing this. Put the pieces together. Put the pieces together. So therefore, in order for them to do that, they would have to come up with a justifiable reason. So what? Usually, when you watch someone, there has to be a justifiable. There ain't no cause. There ain't no cause. They're just wicked because they like to project. There is no cause. So what? You've been watching a man for 5, 6 years, and you still ain't got nothing on him, which is really credible. Not that I'm perfect, because bro, I sin, but you understand. So therefore, they would have to tell a lie. They would have to tell a lie. Oh, this is why we're watching him. It's bullcrap. Nah, the reason why they're watching brothers because of what's being spoken about and the topics we come out with and what certain people are involved in within society. That's why. That's why they're watching you. Okay? It has nothing to do with what anything you've done. Because if you've done anything, then you wouldn't be out here teaching. You'd be put away, which they're trying to do. So it's rubbish. Just remember it's rubbish. So just know it's rubbish. Don't buy into it. It's rubbish. These people are shook. I've told you that already. As soon as you step outside, these people, they can't even rest. They're uncomfortable. What's causing that? What's causing that? I want to go to Proverbs 20:5. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water. Woo, this is heavy. Counsel in the heart of man is like a deep water. So that means in terms, there could be something festering within a man or woman's heart, mind, but they haven't let it out. They haven't really told you what it is. Check this out. Hmm? but a man of understanding will draw it out. Are you listening? Are you listening? But a man of understanding will draw it out. So there's counsel, there's certain things that people may keep hidden, but a man of counsel, if you have a conversation and you know how to use certain words, you can get certain things out of people. You can let them speak. That's why sometimes it's good to just, if someone's talking to you, be quiet and let that person speak. Because if they speak long enough, they'll tell you, they'll tell you what they believe in or what they stand for or what they do. If you hang around long enough, people will show you what they're about. That's why I always say, stop rushing. Why are you rushing for? You're rushing because you're overthinking things. Because they want you to overthink. Because when you're overthinking and you're rushing, what does it look like to the public? It looks like you're being, what's that word? If you're a bit elusive. And people that tend to rush, look like they're rushing and all that, they look like they're up to something. Or they're running. Or they're running from something. So you gotta pay attention to these things, man. And stop being stupid. Stop running. Take your time, man. You want to go to a restaurant? Go a restaurant. Go eat there while people are laughing, faking. Go eat there. Because what does that show? When you're doing that, it shows you're stable, and you're not being moved by what people do. They want to move you from that confidence, from the truth, because it's uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, especially with the topics that are coming out today. And you see about the scandals and things that are happening today. You see what's going on, right? With the ped rings, with the pedo rings, and stuff like that, right? You see what's going on. These are serious things, bro. These are serious things. Then you got people that are even shun away from that. Something as serious as that. Yeah, I said it. You see what's happening with these ped rings? They're all over the gaff now. Stop talking about Rochdale, there's some Asian gangs. Oh, there's some Asian Muslim. They always say that, make it seem, yeah, they're Muslim Asian gangs. And they're kidnapping white women. Are you serious? Are you serious? Rochdale. What's Rochdale? Is it predominantly Asian then? So hold on a minute. What about the next? What about the other counties next to it? What about Birmingham? What about Manchester? What? Oh, last one. What about London? What about London? So these pedderings or grooming, they call it grooming because they that's more that name when they say grooming, it sounds more nice and suitable than peddering. So there's no pedderings or grooming gangs in London then. None. I think we better start getting real now. We better start getting real. So where are they then? Where are they? Have they gone on vacation? Where are they? Are they in Spain? Are they in Tenerife? Where are they? So they just vanished. Where are they? That's why only a few can do what we're doing. Not everybody can teach this truth because it's too much for a lot of people. Want to bury their head underneath the sand. That's why these topics are coming out in the news because the Lord's bringing it to light. He's doing that. You're sending your children to school. You have to worry if they're getting touched up by a teacher. Did the teacher, did he touch you? You have to worry about that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, bro. This is crazy, man. We're not supposed to hold our peace. We're not supposed to hold our peace. And now you even got football teams now. You even hear within the football. Are you a football coach? What? You're a football coach for who? You're a football coach for children? Oh, what? The football coach headline. The football coach was touching little children. He was having his way with them. Bro, this is all around the border. It's not just one case. It's just not one case. So you better be careful, even if you have a football coach now, because the football coach might be a ped as well. Bro, we're coming raw with this one. I'm sick and tired of people burying their head in the sand, man. Go to Isaiah 62. No. Look the other way. Just look the other way. What? How long do you look the other way for? All right, I'm looking the other way. When can I turn my head the other way? No. This is sickening. Isaiah 59. And where should we start? The truth is fallen in the street and equity cannot enter. So truth fails. And he who departs from evil makes himself a prey. Why are these people able to get off just with a slap on the wrist? A, 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 a rapist or a pedo gets less time than someone that stole something from a grocery store. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. And equity cannot enter, so truth fails, and he who departs from evil makes himself a prey. So you depart from these things, people are looking at you. What, you're not down with that? People are looking at you like something's wrong with you. This is why we need out of here, man. This ain't the kingdom of heaven. There ain't no righteousness here. Wickedness is glorified, man. Degradation is glorified here. That's why when you read Romans, it talks about the flesh and it talks about the spirit too. The men of the Lord will be in the spirit most of the times, the Holy Spirit, which is pleasing to who? Yahushua and the Father. Those that are in the flesh, guess who they're going to be pleasing to? Satan. That's why it talks about it's a battle. It's a battle. Listen, as long as you're sinning, Satan ain't worried about you. He loves you. He's giving you a pat on the back. Yeah. He rankings on the left hand side. Rankings on the left hand side is through sin. Through sin. You want a spiritual rank. You want that on the right hand side. Some real stuff going on out here, man. I don't want to sin. Even though I do, I don't want to. Because I know that this pleases the Father. But guess who it pleases? Satan. Satan said, go on, yeah, do more. Do more. Then when you do it, I'm going to accuse you to the Father. And I'm going to show him everything you've done. I'm going to show him everything. Come on, bro. You got to have some backbone, man. That's just wrong. Don't do that. It's just wrong. You're a wrong'un. We're going to go to Romans 8. There is therefore now condemnation to those who walk in the spirit of Yahushua Mashiach, who do not walk according to the flesh, but according to the spirit. That's that battle. That's the battle. Walking in the spirit of the Lord Jehovah Shai. That's what he delights in. Okay? Not the flesh. Because the more you do that, that's displeasing to him. Lust is so easy to just, right now, if I wanted to eat a cake, right, eat a cake. It feels good, right, at first. Yeah, it's nice. It's tasty. But look at the ingredients in it. Look at the ingredients. It feels good. Then 2 hours later, you got the runs, stomach's hurting, not feeling too good, feeling lethargic. It feels good at first. That's how the flesh is. That's how the flesh is. That's why it's a constant battle. No one said this was good. It's a constant battle. No one said this was going to be easy, but we have to fight. You hear that shouting? You hear that shouting? That's literally demons, man. Shouting. Yeah, get God, get God, get God. That's spirits for me. That's spirits. That's what truth does. And certain brothers, you have that spiritual power where you're able to change the energy within that area. They don't want that. They want that demonic energy in that area. That's what they want. They want to play with them demons. They love their demons. They want to play with them. They don't want to let go of them. And that's not the only thing they want to play with. For the law of the spirit of life is in Mashiach, who has made me free from the law of sin and death. So we be made free from that. Excuse me. The law of sin and death. It says it. The law of sin and death. We be made free from that. So why are you going to return back to that sin? Why are you going to return back to sin? When the Lord got you away from that. Hmm? It's so hard, it's a battle, but all we can do is just try, pray, and stay prayed up. Ask for forgiveness through Yahweh Shai when we do go off. Even within our thoughts, even a sinful thought, that's still sin. A sinful thought. This flesh is so wicked. So wicked. Right? This kingdom's wicked. And it's so hard to do right in a system that's governed by wickedness. That's why it says, he that departs from evil makes himself a prey. So now you're gonna have them spirits that come your way, and they're gonna be seeking to entice you into what? Sin. Get you back into sin. Get you back into a covenant with the enemy through sin. Have you ever noticed when you were doing good? Well, not good, doing good. When you were in the world, you didn't really have trouble like that. Getting along with everybody. How you doing? Are you right? You're right. How you doing? But now, the moment you start repenting, now there's trouble. No, we can't have that. Who does he think? Who does he think he is? Remember when he was doing this? Remember when he was doing that? No, let's bring him back down to size. That's how a lot of these people think. I don't remember that. I don't remember you being like that when I was hanging around with you. That's the enemy. His whole thing is to bring you back into sin. That's the whole goal. The enemy wants you back in sin. The enemy wants you mad. You know what I'm saying? The enemy wants you mad and back in sin. But it's beautiful, you know why? Because those that are in Yahweh Shai are free from them. We're no longer slaves to sin. We're debtors to Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Debtors. We're no longer debtors to sin no more. We're not a debtor to the flesh. So what does that mean? Your day should be serving Yahweh Shai and not the flesh. Yahweh Shai. Also, look, hold on. It's not easy. It's not easy. But the Lord's going to get us through. We're just, oh man, the Lord will get us through. Romans 6. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Certainly not. How shall we who died to sin any longer live in it? Answers no. Right? So we can't live in sin. Right? Should we continue to live in sin? No. Right? Let me check the time. Right? No. We don't want to live in sin. No. But the flesh is sinful by nature. So what can we do? Hmm? We can try, make an effort to serve Yahweh Shai in faith to the best of our ability. Okay? This is why you're stalked. A lot of people keep stalking. You're stalking. It's the FBI. Listen, it's not necessarily true. Because you got regular people that will stalk you. So why are you saying it's the FBI? You got regular people that will stalk you. No, it's Satan that's doing that. Yeah, intelligence services. Yeah, it could be. But it's Satan that's doing that because he controls your intelligence services. No, but it's a utility worker. Well, who does your utility worker work for? A company, right? Well, who does that company serve? Satan. I doubt they serve the Lords. Really doubt it. The manager's probably a high-level Satanist. No, but it's the schools. It's the schools that are stalking you. Well, who's the head teacher? The head teacher might be a Satanist. No, but it's your local store owners. Well, your local store owner, who does he serve? What color is he wearing? Is he wearing red today? Don't make this complicated. You're looking for something what's outside of the scriptures. You're doing that. You're confusing yourself. Ephesians 6 and 10. Put on the whole armor because we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities. So then principalities, you know what they control, right? They control world leaders from high up, from below. That's what you're wrestling against. That's what you're fighting against. And you're looking at the people. Why are they doing that? Why are they jumping in and out of cars? Why are they walking past me pretending they don't see me, but they see me, then they get on their phone and contact someone else? Well, who's that? That's the enemy keeping an eye on you. That's called spiritual and coordinated surveillance through networks because they've done so their soul. So yeah, they are part of a network, and there's several networks, and this is how the kingdom of darkness is organized by networks. This is how they're able to keep an eye on each other through networks, making this thing difficult. Let's not make it difficult, man. Let's not make it difficult. You're watched because you're dangerous. You're considered. No, this guy's dangerous. No. You need to keep an eye on him. No, he's alone as well. And he's alone. No, he might do this. He might say this. No, we got to keep an eye on him. Watch him. Watch him. He might mention more stuff. We got to watch him. Well, hold on. You watching me? What is it going to stop the truth? You can watch me all day long. Then they're watching. Over time, they might hate you, but then they start liking you. Then they start obsessing over you. It turns to obsession. Now the obsession it turns to control. So you got a group of people, they've watched you over time now. Oh no, I'm so obsessed now. I want to control him. You know what I'm saying? Now you're eating your food a certain way. Why is he eating his food? Bro, just shut up and sit down. And stop what you're doing because the Lord's coming to judge these type of people, man. They're not comfortable until you step through that front door. then they go back to reverting back to their wicked ways. Because that's what they want to be. They want to be wicked. They want to be freaks. They're not going to come out before your face and tell you that. They're going to put on that stupid smile, act like they're pompous and righteous, and talk to you about, oh, well, just be a good person. You heard that rubbish before. You heard that rubbish. Yeah, just be a good person. Well, what is it? Yeah, why is it always women that say that as well? Just, I try to be a good person. Well, what does it mean to be a good person? Even the Lord said there's none good but the Father. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, I want to be a good person. I'm respectful and this. No, you're not a good person because a lot of these people they agree with wickedness. I'm not disrespectful. I'm not rude, but you're wicked. Because if you're not speaking against it, guess what you're doing? You're being a demon enabler. That's what you're doing. You're enabling wickedness, and the Lord ain't for that, right? There should be a petition against wickedness. You should be signing up against wickedness. I'm a good person, right? But the same person will have their child sit on Father Christmas's lap. You're gonna have that happening as well during December. You remember that when Father Christmas is in the stores, right? And you're sitting on Father Christmas's lap, right? And he's getting a hard on. While you're sitting on his lap, he's getting a hard on. And this guy could be a ped, and you're sitting on his lap. Forget that, man. Let's go to Jeremiah. All this is gonna be happening, right? We just what? You have people that were celebrating Halloween, dressing up like zombies and skeletons, right? Knocking on people's doors, trick or treat. Then this man, you don't know who this man is, and he's giving your children sweeties. You don't know what he's done with them sweeties. And you're getting mad at me when I'm telling you this. Unbelievable. A lot of you don't think, man. You're not thinking. You ain't thinking with a full deck. I know what it is. You got a God complex. That's what you got, a God complex, man. You want to control the outcome of everything. That's what it is. Now, what's next? Christmas is round the corner. Christmas, right? Everybody's gonna be acting like they like each other. Merry Christmas, and they don't even feel that way. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Fake. Stop with the fakeness, man. Jeremiah 10. Do not learn the way of the Gentiles. Do not be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the Gentiles are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are futile. For one cuts a tree from the forest, the work of the hands of workmen. With the axe, they decorate it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers, so that it will not topple. They are upright like a palm tree. They cannot speak. So, Christmas is coming, and this is basically the trees they cut it out of a forest and they decorate it with gold, silver, and they put it in their houses. Which, if anyone hasn't, you should know that by now. That goes all the way back to Babylon. That goes back to Nimrod, right? Nimrod and so forth. Apparently, 25th of December was his birthday, Nimrod's birthday. And not just his, all of your idols, even within India, all their birthdays seem to be on the 25th of December. The Lord's, and they tell you, Christians say, well, it's celebrating the Lord's. Well, hold on a minute. The Lord's birthday was not on December. It has nothing to do with the Lord. Christmas has nothing to do with him. But it says Christmas. It has nothing to do with the Lord. What are you reading? That's old Babylonian mysteries, paganism, man. Which goes back to Nimrod. And that tree is supposed to be, excuse me, his penis. And when you're bowing down, getting the presents, you're bowing down before his penis. Look how the tree is. It's tilted like that, right? And they put a little star on it. They put a little star at the top. Then start singing Christmas carol songs, right? That we be having a wonderful Christmas time. Blah, 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 blah. We be happy. You know what I'm saying? So even that, when you get older, you find out, hold on, that's fairy tales. That's fair. Oh, Father Christmas is gonna run in your house. He's gonna break through, which you shouldn't be teaching that. Yeah, he's gonna break through the house, the door, or go through the chimney, and gonna put them presents upstairs. Who done it? Oh yeah, Father Christmas, a man with a white beard. They call it. They call him what? Santa. It's Satan, man, dressed in red with a big beard. And that really goes back to the whole with the presents and all that. That goes back to what was his name? What was his name? Was it Saint Nicholas? I think it was Saint Nicholas. He used to give presents to the poor people of Russia. I believe it was Saint Nicholas. That's where they get that whole Father Christmas thing from. Saint Nicholas, he used to give presents to poor people in Russia. So a lot of you're misinformed, even when it comes to certain pagan holidays. And it's just another money scheme. And less people are celebrating it anyway. Less people are celebrating it now. I remember back in the days, bro, people used to go mad about it. Not no more. They're doing less. They're buying less presents. And a lot of wickedness happens on the 25th of December. You know why? Because guess what happens? You know, we're having Christmas. Me and my wife. You want to come round as well? You and your wife? Come round. You want to come round? What ends up happening? Arguments. You know how much arguments and fights break out during Christmas time? Then, Baba Kisha, why? Because they get too drunk, overindulgence, they eat too much. You can always eat and come back for the food, but they stuff their face. Gluttony, which is a sin. And what's the other thing? Third thing. Oh no. Orgies. They end up sleeping with, I don't know, swinging or whatever on Christmas Day. And that goes back to, what's it? Bacchanalia, the festival. These things happen. Nothing is new underneath the sun. Now, I'm not discouraging brothers that are your children. Well, they've been taught a certain way. Christmas, well, does that mean I don't get no presents? You turn up there, you open your presents, you eat the food, but you're not in the spirit of the 25th of December. Right? You eat your food right and so forth, but you're not in the spirit of Christmas. Now, when you were younger, I enjoyed that. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Loved it when I was younger. The Christmas tree looks ever so pretty. The presents, you're rubbing your hands. Yay! Presents! You're looking at them. And but then as you get older, because you mature, then you realize the fakeness of this world. Right? Everybody, come on now. It's 12 o'clock. Let's all sit down and eat. Let's pretend we're a happy family and it's no problems. It's very fake, man. This one's fake, man. Then round the corner from that, just round the corner from that is New Year's, and now that's when it gets heavy. But New Year's, you should be thinking, how can I get right? Because this is the Lord's return now. And this New Year's is going to be, listen, a lot of things are going to happen this year. A lot of things are going to happen. 2026, New Year, right? And you're going to people say, Happy New Year! Happy what? Happy New Year? No. It's going to be a happy time for the elect when the Lord delivers them. Not for the wicked. And you know people are going to be getting flabbergasted out of their heads. Luke 21:34, but take heed to yourselves lest your hearts be weighed down with carousing, drunkenness, and cares of this life. And the day come upon you unexpectedly, for it will come as a snare on all those who dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch therefore and pray always. It says it. Watch therefore and pray always, because it's going to come as a snare when people are comfortable. We don't want to get caught up. We don't want to get caught up in all the madness. It's going to get bad. We're only here to warn you. Don't take it out on us. About the message, it may not be. It's not the most pleasant of messages, but what are you expecting? Do you want us to stroke your heads and sing you a bedtime story? No, we're telling you what's going to happen. You still got tensions with Russia, right? And so the America, the US, the UK, they don't get along. North Korea, Iran. You still got these. Even in the UK, you got probably within the UK. There's a lot of problems now. We're in a totalitarianism state where everything's surveilled. Every single thing you do now is surveilled, monitored. AI algorithms. People are being more cold now, more angry. They're more cold, right? Can't even trust the police now. You can't even really, if you have an issue, you can't even really go to the police now because you got a lot of police that are corrupt. We're in them times now. Can't really tell the wrong person your issues because you never know, they might be an agent and run to someone else. This is serious times. Please, if you're listening, take heed to this and think about these words. You hear them sirens in the time of Jacob's trouble. They ain't gonna. You think there ain't gonna be no sirens. The police are gonna be getting mashed up. The ambulance workers are gonna be getting mashed up. It's gonna be anarchy. It's gonna be like all out war. You ain't gonna have none of that. The police ain't gonna help you. They're going. Oh, I'm resigning. I'll give you that badge. There's gonna be rioting. There's gonna be gangs roaming the streets with knuckle dusters, knives, guns. Order out of chaos. They want the chaos. The elites, they want the chaos. Why? Because this is going to be another way they bring order. This is why they need people chaotic. They need that. A lot of these groups, they pay them off to cause riots, smash windows, so they can bring the order. I'm going to shut off here. I hope this was edifying. And until the next time, I want to give all honors and praise and glory belongs to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, for Hashem Mahavakak Wadash, and stay prayed up, man. Keep your head on a swivel and let no man take your crown. To the next time, Shalom. Shalom.